Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. Get some weed and now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the Penny Bloom Podcast. It's a day late, but it's the Andor Afterparty. We finished Andor yesterday, and therein, it's time to party. I am Colton Robertson. I am joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here, and
There
is one way out.
There is only
one way
out, and this is the Andor After Party, like I said. So we're covering Star Wars Andor. Today is episode 10, premiered on November 9th, 2022, titled One Way Out, written by Beau Willimon and directed by Toby Haynes. And, goddamn, man, I continue to come back to this podcast every week and go, do we have a new best yet? And every week, I continue to think, we might just.
I think we said on the that episode, I think we were like, all right, no way an episode can beat that one, right? Like, that was just, we got everything. It was beautiful. Wow, what an episode. I can confidently say that
this is what did it.
This episode,
tens. We don't even need to talk about it before rating it. This is tens across.
Can we actually do that? Because I don't have a single problem with this. I can't actually find anything that I
can find wrong. Mean, it was exquisitely written. It looked fucking gorgeous. Like, it was such a beautiful episode. The acting was phenomenal. The score was pretty much the show score has already been fucking fantastic. This just, like, I genuinely believe this is the single best piece of Star Wars television we've ever gotten. And it's amongst the best Star Wars we've ever gotten. And in this show, which I think it was last week or the week before, I proclaimed this is the best Star Wars. Can't remember which week it was.
I think it was last. I think it was last week, because I remember saying that I'm like, I don't know if I'm there yet, but I can confidently say it's the best of something or something.
Yeah, it was best of the shows. You said that. But, we're well on our way to what I said being the case. Especially after 2 seasons of it. Like, that's the thing, is that we're not just going to end this story after season 1. And that's what's really, really fucking me up right now, is that this is well on its way to being the best Star Wars ever. And this is coming from a guy who loves all Star Wars. You will not catch me out here bad-mouthing any of the Star Wars. I love all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing about this franchise that rubs me the wrong way.
Is Dave Filoni attached to this in any way?
No.
I want to, make people realize that. Because I feel like people will be like, if it's Disney and it's not Dave Filoni, I'm not watching it. I feel like a lot of people that are like, if Dave Filoni isn't on the property, they feel like it's not George Lucas, so it's not Star Wars, so they're just going to say, fuck it. Dave Filoni's not attached to the show. I didn't know that. I say maybe he might have had a voice, whatever, but knowing that he's not.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I love Dave Filoni's work on Star Wars. I always have. Clone Wars, Rebels, The Mandalorian. Fucking The Mandalorian. This washes all of it, and it's not even close. Like, I love all of these things, and I think all of it is good for different reasons. It's just that's. Every time I've seen people like, oh, why do we have to compare shit? I'm like, I'm not trying to compare anything to anything else, because it's not comparable.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, there are people who, I watched a lot of, recaps over this episode and kind of people's general thoughts over the series so far. And a lot of people, are very hard in the camp of, if people want basically Dave Filoni to be the Kevin Feige of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I think Dave Filoni has very great Star Wars ideas, but I don't think he can write an actual like emotional and like the actual impact that a story can have like Andor. I don't think Dave Filoni has that capability,
I think he's shown that he does every once in a while, but like that's the thing is that Star Wars is such a vast universe and it's touched so many creators that I don't think this universe should have a Kevin Feige figure. I think every single thing should have the care and attention of one creator who wants to create that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's the way to go with Star Wars, because it's like no matter what, it feels like a passion project. And that's what I really love about it, is that like when it came to the Book of Boba Fett, Robert Rodriguez, it felt like that was a fucking love letter for him. You know what I'm saying? Obi-Wan Kenobi, I felt Deborah Chow absolutely loving what she was creating, and that's what's important to me. When Tony Gilroy creating Andor, there's a spirit to these things that you just feel like. And The Mandalorian, that's where you're getting that Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau heart of it. You know what I'm saying? And you can feel it in like 3 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett. But like, that's important to me, is that like the creators who are heading up these projects, I can tell the heart that they put into it, and I want to be able to feel that. Whereas like, there are only, I hate to throw the MCU under the bus like this, but there's just, it doesn't feel like there's as much heart there from each individual creator. Like I feel like the ones where you can really feel the heart from the creator, Chloe Zhao on the Eternals, I feel like I'm really, really getting something out of that.
Yeah, really anything past Endgame, it's been like, I'm not gonna lie, it's been rough. Like, I think the DC and maybe what Star Wars is doing now is the framework that works. Like, having
written on like Shang-Chi, I could feel that too. Like there's just like every once in a while there's there's something with heart, and Matt Reeves on the Batman, heart. James Gunn on Peacemaker, heart. Like,
okay.
Sometimes you can just feel when a creator cared about the thing they were making.
You're right. And I don't know, I was debating on putting this as my favorite episode of television of this year. And I was trying to think of any House of the Dragon episode that could beat this. And like, that's the thing, is that like maybe a scene of House of the Dragon could beat, but like this episode was the whole time. Like, I mean, it was just the whole fucking thing.
Dude. That's my thing, is that like, I loved, like, that's the thing, is when an episode of TV is good, I'm gonna like it, and I'm easily entertained. I'm easily satisfied. I'm not the world's greatest critic. I like a lot of shit. But the fact that this is so goddamn good and it's Star Wars elevates it to a place where it's quite easily my favorite show of the year.
That's fair. I guess it is critically as good as House of the Dragon or Westworld or any other show that I've watched this year. But it also, yeah, I know, that is super sad. But
we'll get to that one day.
The Star Wars added on top of it, like, and that's the thing, is that like the show is Star Wars, and I don't want to say that just because it doesn't have lightsabers or whatever that I'm not seeing Star Wars here, because we have the Empire, we have crazy prisons. It's obviously Star Wars, but like the story that they're telling is just very real. Like, I mean, it's
unique in comparison to a lot of stuff you get from Star Wars, and like that's hard to do. That like in a universe where a lot of the criticism is it all feels the same. I don't think you can't say that for this. I don't think.
I think the key difference between a show like this and maybe like just one of the movies, take just the first Star Wars movie, for example. It is very obvious who is good and who is bad. It is good versus evil, and you watch them fight it out. You know who's who. It's whatever. But now we're getting into all the gray area where someone's on the rebellion, which we know is the good side. But you can see a character like Luthen where maybe they're not exactly the best person, or they have a lot more going on with them. They're not exactly good.
that fucking monologue he gives at the end when he says, I'm condemned to use the tools of my oppressor to defeat them.
He is Rebellion Palpatine or Rebellion Thrawn is the closest. I can't, like, we don't hear about him ever outside, like, we've never heard about him.
Never has Luthen Rael been mentioned.
There's two options. One, he dies.
He definitely
dies. Or he is the rebellion leader, and he is that secretive. Like, even when the rebellion went full public, and they're like, yeah, we got Princess Leia, we got freaking Mon Mothma, you know, like, obvious, like, rebellion leaders, they kept Luthen a seat, you know, like, imagine. Yeah, I'm assuming he dies, because no way.
Nah, this man's going out in an act of revolutionary suicide, according to Huey Newton. This shit is, this man's gonna die for the cause. I have no doubt about it. It's like I fucking love the character, dude. I absolutely love the character and what he's bringing to the table. But yeah, you know, the questions of morality are always really cool. He is obviously fighting for the good side, but in fighting for that good side, you're going to have to do some dark shit. I like that what this show is saying is that to defeat fascism, the answer is armed revolution. There, like, that is it. You can't avoid that if you are facing fascism. That is how to get out of it. And, like, you can't argue with the logic of this show, man. Like, it's too fucking good.
Yeah, it's like it's scary how dystopian the show is, but how reflective it is of the real world. Like, it's so sad that we can actually look at this show and be like, oh yeah, I can take many aspects out of what's happening in this galaxy far, far away and look at good old Missouri or good old, you know, like, even a city. Like, I mean, it's like not even on the national level. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of sad.
No, yeah, it's kind of insane. It really is. But are you ready for a scene by scene breakdown of this here Andor episode 10, One Way Out?
Yes, I need some order with all of this chaos that's going up here right now. I need some order to it.
Let's do it. So we begin on Narkina 5, where Olaf is being tagged and bagged and walked through the facility. Sadly passed at the end of last episode, and we then cut to a shell-shocked Kino after learning the information at the end of last episode, and a discussion with Cassian, who's like, yo, we need to go tomorrow. We will not have a better chance than tomorrow. And he's like, nah, that's fucking dumb. And he's like, they just killed 100 men to keep them quiet. What do you call that? Cassian calls it fear. Kino calls it power. And, you know, Kino's real doubtful of this plan up until a point where Cassian says, I'd rather die trying to take them down than giving them what they want.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but there's no other line that is winning for this episode.
That's it. That's the one.
It's whether it's Cassian's first delivery or the second delivery.
It's the callback. It's the callback. Well, and the fact that, like, Cassian's words just hold so much weight. You know, like, when he says, I'd rather die trying to take them down than giving them what they want, and Kino calls back to it in his biggest act of rebellion yet, what does Jyn say when she's speaking to the entire Rebel Council? When she's telling them what they need to do, when they need to storm Scarif. Rebellions are built on hope. And the person who said that line to her was Cassian earlier in the movie. And it's like, his words just carry weight with people, man. Like, when he says shit, people listen. He's a natural leader. It's like, and he's learning that. He's learning that slowly, but I want to follow this man. You know what I'm saying? And I know Kino is like the de facto leader here because he leads everybody, but, like, who's getting him there? It's Cassian.
Yeah, I mean, Cassian's the one, like, in this scene right now, Kino is lost. He's he's
Oh,
like,
he's
holy fuck,
bad.
I'm dead. There's no way out of this. Like
whenever Cassian's talking to him and like he gets on Kino gets on program and Cassian keeps talking without getting on program and he like goes over there and tries to wrestle him into getting on program, and it's like you can tell this is just a man who is flustered and flabbergasted and has no idea what to do. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna get on program until someone can convince him otherwise. And that's ultimately what Cassian does here. And they go ahead and get on program in the nick of time and make their way to the beds. Wherein they let everyone know what's up. Cassian begins explaining, Olaf is gone.
Love how one dude down there at the very end was like, louder! Like, he's like, I can't fucking hear you! Come on, man! I want to hear it! Come on! Like,
and then Kino
sense.
like whispers to himself.
Yeah.
What was cool about that is like the way that Kino's talking like real quietly, and then the dude next to him is passing the information down the hall so that everyone can start talking to each other. I really love it. But, he barely gets to his cell in time, Cassian. The floors flash for him and he gets there barely. And
dude is too comfortable with that timer, man.
Oh,
he is way too comfortable.
I'd have just
or
gone
maybe he's just
fucking bunk.
Maybe he's just that calculated. Because I mean, both times he's gotten it on the money.
Right
7 seconds,
right
bang.
there.
This dude he's goaded. Dude's force sensitive or some shit.
Calculator.
He's got
calculator.
Whether he's force sensitive or not, the force is fucking with him.
Force is with him. That's
holy
true.
Shit.
But he explains to everybody, Cassian, that they fried 2 shifts to keep the failed prisoner transfer under wraps, and the room's boiling. Everyone's speaking up. Everyone's asking how, why. Hey, speak up down there. I can't fucking hear anything. And that's when it builds up and up and up to Kino yelling, "No one is getting out."
I love that what built him, he didn't say a word after Cassian told him that line. He was contemplating that line that Cassian told him. I'd rather die.
That entire time.
He's like, because beforehand he's like, I'm dead. There's nothing I can do. They have power over me. I can't do anything. There is no escape. He didn't even think of the fight as an option. But then as Cassian is like, no, you are dead. Dude, we need, like, if you want to even try to live, we need to go. That's what, and I love how at first, whenever he screams, no one's getting out, it kind of makes you think at first that he's going to be like, everyone, nothing's happening. At first I kind of thought that he was going to cover it up at first. And I was like, hold on here. But then, he goes into.
Yeah, he begins letting them know what's what. He tells them that it's true. The rumors, it's true. All of it. That they're not letting them go ever. They're going to die here or in the next place. He says to get back in their cells, get their heads back on straight, and start figuring this out. Which was just a stellar way to leave it. Like, let's start figuring this out. Nobody's listening. We are going to figure this out here and now. All of us together, let's talk through this. He's in, and
you would think, it kind of seemed weird to me to be like, get your heads back in your cell and let's figure this out, instead of being like, let's converse and try to figure this out. I feel like that would be, I don't know, because everyone turned around and got quiet and just kind of thought about it. But you didn't get the sense.
I think it was to imply that they might not be listening, but they might be watching. So if they're all heads poking out.
Okay.
All right, everybody, what are we doing?
Okay, that makes more sense.
I think that's more what he meant. Get your head back in your cells and let's figure this out. Let's talk about this.
Ooh. I love whenever Cassian and Kino were walking through the hallway at first. What's the dude's name that? Oh, man, he died. It was so sad. But the guy that he was planning with initially, and that he was talking to, he's like, the plans changed. Yeah. Whenever he passed him, he was like, new man, tomorrow. And he was like code. He was kind of telling him in code that it's going down tomorrow.
It's about to go down. Yeah, and I liked that. And just the way that everyone looked to them You know, like when they entered, everyone was like, "Phew," like, all right, what's up? Y'all two are the ones we listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's really get into it.
Damn.
But I absolutely love it. And the shot when they walked in was beautiful and symmetrical. The way they like walked in and like the wall was lining the sides and everyone peeked out. Like, fucking beautiful. But after this, we head over to the ISB briefly, where we get the fact that they are quite happy with their execution of their murder of Anto Krieger's pilot. They're like, yep, we fucking nailed it. Went exactly as planned. Looked like this man froze up on a hull breach exiting hyperspace. We did it. And the man known as Lonnie, as we come to know him, suggests a course of action, that they should go ahead and investigate because that is what we would normally do. We need to do what is most normal. And Partagaz is like, fuck yeah, buddy, let's get it. And they act on it. And that's all this scene with the ISB is. Very, very brief.
So they captured a pilot from his crew, and they used that creepy scientist dude to torture him and get whatever out of him, to tell him that what
Spell House is getting raided.
Yeah. But was it ever explained how they captured that pilot? They just happened to...
I think it's just like, basically intergalactic stop and frisk. Probably just...
Okay. I didn't know if it was...
Saw a ship, was like, yo, what's up? We're going to investigate you.
Because I was wondering, the only other Krieger mention is with Luthen and Saw Gerrera.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to like, why was Saw Gerrera in the show? You know, like, where does he come back? Does he come back? Was it just a cameo? Was it, just a, holy shit, we're having these two people on screen talking to each other like, holy fuck, you're welcome? Or is it like, is the link of the show? Because that's the only time Krieger is ever mentioned, is with the ISB or Luthen and Saw Gerrera. So, like, I didn't know if, like, Saw snitched on them and got that pilot captured, because, like, he was mad at Luthen, but Saw doesn't do that, though. Like, he obviously doesn't go to the fucking ISB and he's like, here's a pilot. No, he's not doing that. But, that's the only link that I could see, if there is one. And
I get you. Like, you're just asking what was Saw's purpose in general. And I do think it was, basically to show infighting in the far left of the Star Wars universe.
Okay.
The way that he breaks up all the factions and is like, none of us actually agree on shit. We just know the empire bad. That's all we're in agreement on. And I think Luthen's like, that's all we really need to be in agreement on. And Saw's like, nah, it's not. We need to get one message, one goal for the end of this shit. And I think I don't know if it was more of just a philosophical purpose that was being served there, or if he will. I think I'd be willing to bet Forrest Whitaker Saw Gerrera might play a little bit bigger of a role in season 2, just because that covers a lot more ground as far as time period. But
it's like, because Disney, they said that moving forward, they're going to stray away from fan service. That's like their new kind of like, I don't know, they actually, a lot of this stuff came out recently about like the sequels and how they handled it, and Disney's not very happy with it. And like they changed their whole plan of how they're making Star Wars moving forward, which is kind of weird. But they said that they're straying away from fan service. And I don't know if I'm looking at it as a scene that's not fan service, like if it does have a purpose, and it could just be that I like that. I could just be just a little further push into the divide of the rebellion, and seeing all the different factions. But like something like Luthen handing Cassian a kyber crystal, is that just fan service, or is there actually like, how did we like just gloss over that way too easily? Like, I know he collects stuff, and, like, he's a collector, whatever, but he says that this means more to me than you'll ever know. Don't take any less than $50K for it. Then we hear it's only worth $30K, so no way anyone would ever pay $50,000 for it. So, like, he's basically saying, like, this is worth more to me than you'll ever know. What is worth... Who would a kyber crystal be worth something to? You know, like
Someone who was in love with a Jedi.
That is where my theory at first was that Luthen himself was a Jedi, and then I'm like, I don't know.
Nah.
There are some things that lead you to think that, like, his cane in the first time he comes in is literally a fucking lightsaber. Like, it extends. It's a hilt, and then it just like, I mean, it's literally a lightsaber, but just metal. So, like, would be sick if that was his hilt or his lover's hilt, and the crystal is, you know, because you can't have them together, or else, you know, you have to hide your everything.
Right.
So, like, but I don't know. I really like, don't like. I don't know if I'm thinking into it too much. Like, if this kyber crystal is more, or if it is just strictly just like, oh, we're tying it into the, you know, into Star Wars that, you know.
I think it's fair. I think it's a fair. I don't think he was a Jedi. I think that's one we can go ahead and rule out. I do think it's possible that he was in love with a Jedi. I do think that's far more plausible. You know, everyone has their own personal rebellion. The act that started the Empire was Order 66, a systematic killing of the Jedi. It would make sense for that to be his, like, immediate breaking point.
He says it was 15 years ago that he made his equation, calculated, and knew.
That would have been the fall of the Republic. Yeah.
So it makes sense. Like, whether his lover Jedi, I'm talking as if it's true, which I love, but, like, I just really want to believe in it. But, like, if his lover Jedi, like, died, like, it didn't have to happen during Order 66. Could have just happened whenever, and, like, he could have been like, oh fuck, like, fuck the Empire or whatever. Like, it could have happened whenever. But does that, the 15 years, does that put it, like, where does that, what even happened? I guess that'd be like 20 BBY, I guess, like, because if we're maybe 19.
The Empire reigned for 20 years. Like, it is the fall of the Republic.
So literally, that is
5 BB. Yeah, we are set at 5 BBY. 15 years ago is immediately when the Empire started reigning. Okay. Like, it is. Okay. He was like, as soon as that shit started, he was like, I'm organizing, you know, like, there was no hesitation involved for him, but, yeah, we'll get to be more and more about it, but,
save some Luthen stuff.
Nevertheless, back on Narkina 5, another day ticks away and the lights come up, and, Kino tells everyone that they are done counting shifts. There was only then and now. There was only one way out, and he's gonna assume he's already dead and play it from there. They won't warn the night shift. There's no sense. They'll hear about it one way or another. And, like, that's confidence. One way or another, we're either getting the fuck out or we all die. They'll hear about it.
I mean, the logic makes sense, though. You're dead already. You might as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Cassian's right. Like, he's right. Like,
you're dying one way or another. You might as well die fighting. And Cassian and Kino walk out of the barracks side by side, shoulder to shoulder, leading the men out of there, and they proceed through their procedures as if nothing's different, working a normal shift for now. We then briefly cut to Ferrix, where a woman named Jezzy is asking a doctor to come look after Marva. She's been refusing to take her meds. She'd rather eat. You know, the pills have been soiling her food. She'd rather eat than take the pills, and everyone's a little disappointed about that. They're like, come on now, Marva, we want you to be healthy. And we see a curious onlooker who is definitely Empire.
He's an ISP agent.
Yeah.
He's in the room of all of them. He's in there. Like, I don't think he's spoken yet, though, is the thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I was like, he was one of Deidre's people whenever she was like, you know, we're always watching her now. Last episode, like, this is a dude who is watching her.
Yeah. Because I knew at first, because I wrote in my notes, I'm like, who the fuck is that dude? Because the camera focused on him. I'm like, I know I recognize him from somewhere. This dude looks familiar. And I'm not saying, like, in the Andor within the show, the actor. I felt like I recognized him. I'm like, oh, I recognize him from somewhere. So I guess he might be important. I'm like, wait, he actually does kind of look familiar for the show.
Right.
And then I on Twitter, there was just a literal side-by-side screenshot of him in the ISB in his uniform, and then his, whatever.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah,
there you go. There you go. Yeah,
I guess
definitely
did
Empire then.
Senta pick that up, or did he see what like happened there, or like did they even not know of each other like at all? Because it showed Senta like looking in on Marva, and then she kind of like walked away or something, and then it panned to this ISB guy. Was it?
I'm even gonna cap with you. I did not catch Cinta being in the scene at all.
Yeah, she was the one initially spying on the conversation on Marva, was Senta. And then she steps forward, she hears what's happening, she leaves, she just goes to walk away, and then it goes to the ISB guy, yeah. Oh,
Okay,
but
yeah, I see you.
the ISB guy did not see Senta, though.
No,
whatsoever.
yeah, I would go, they're both really good at their spying jobs, and neither of them noticed each other.
Yeah. But yeah, Senta was there. She saw that too.
Cool. Yeah, I ought to give that scene a little rewatch. I was focused on Jezzy talking to the the doctor. But after that, we're on Coruscant with Mon Mothma, Tay Kolma, and Davos Goldoon.
An underrated scene of the episode, man. Whoa, I got choked up there a little bit talking about it.
Very forgettable in comparison to everything else, but man, it's a fucking goodie. They exchange some pleasantries.
The best score of the episode, I think, is here. Honestly. Like, I know. And that's crazy. In the prison break sequence, I know. And the whole thing, the use of the score here was more impactful because I didn't need the score in the prison break. I'm already fucking amped up. And like, it just adds to it. But here, like, I don't know really, honestly, what the fuck they're saying half the time. I can get the concepts, but like, they're talking kind of nonsense a lot of the time here.
Right.
And like, but the music like got intense like right at the perfect times, and it like I don't know. It was just, it's slow and it just builds the tension. I don't know. I never usually notice score whatsoever, but this was just, I don't know. I loved it.
I can't get past the use of the score when Kino's giving his speech. Like
fair.
Yeah, like that shit fucked me up. But no, but you're right. It was effectively used here. It was very, very good. And they exchanged some pleasantries discussing decor and shit. And they get to business. Mon gives him some shit. He gives her some shit. And he's specifically like, you're married to Tay Kolma. It's been a long time coming. That can't be fun. And he says that there's that most don't understand the clarity of Chandrillan marriage and how it's an institution is great and an old one. And how, boundaries are nice to set up and they're important and all that. And nice little seed planting for what he's going to ask for later. And she then explains that she's seeking an alternative financing arrangement for her foundation. And he's like, yes, I've heard, and I can comply. We can keep things well sealed. He's clearly no fan of the Empire's financial regulations. He's, they've made a game of searching for money. They've made a game of hiding it. So Davos Goldoon's kind of the guy to go to for this. It's just a matter of whether or not he's trustworthy. And, for this deed, he insists there will be no fee for his work. And she's like, no, I insist. And he's like, no, it's okay. And she's like, don't get me wrong, homie. I don't want to be in your fucking debt. I don't want to have to do a fucking favor for you. So what's the price going to be? And he's like, no, it's all good. And she's like, tell me what the fuck you want. And he's like, all right. So I don't plan on this being my last trip to Coruscant. I plan to come back and I'd like to bring my 14-year-old son. And the way that it just immediately, I was like, nope, no. And she is appalled, rightfully so. And any business moving forward there in this moment is immediately halted at this suggestion. She tells him to get the fuck out. He gives her shit, and he's like, you'll think about it. And she's like, I'm not thinking about it. And he's like, that's the first untrue thing you've said. And he sees his way out.
I think the sad reality of this is that it doesn't matter what Mom thinks or what she wants. The Chandrillan customs, I feel, aren't very gender neutral or gender equal either. Maybe they are. Maybe that's just I don't want to assume that though.
I think what we've seen of Chandrillans, that's a conservative society.
And the fact that Perrin has been friends with Davo for a long time, I think their betrothal is already arranged. It's already a thing. He's trying to make it like seem that they're asking Mon to make it seem that it was like she was part of the decision. But I think it's already happened.
You think Perrin's already been like, yeah, fuck yeah, Davo, I like you, dog.
Yeah, they're friends. And I bet that Davo probably is like, oh, well, your wife is looking to, do this for a charitable thing, but she's working with me. And Perrin's probably, I think he's going to put those two together and then like snitch on Mon. I think that's the parent. That's where Perrin comes in, is he becomes the Tim.
All I know is that when the time comes, I need Vel to put a blaster bolt in Perrin's head. I just need it to happen.
Fuck, man. It's gonna be rough whenever Perrin comes back and he's like, so how'd the meeting go? And she's gonna be like, oh, horrible. And he's gonna be like, what do you mean? Like, I thought it'd be a happy moment. And she's gonna be like, oh my god, did you already? I could see it already happening. And the daughter's going to be on board with it because she's probably going to be like, oh my god, he's so hot. Yes, I want to marry him, or something like that. Like
Sansa and Joffrey in the first 2 episodes.
Oh, dude. Yep.
My prince. Either that or Mon is going to agree with it and her daughter's going to resent her more for marrying her off to some kid.
You think she's actually thinking about it?
Oh, 100%. I don't think she has a choice. I think she has to think about it. Because she has no other way to move around her money.
Does she just need money, or does she need the actual process in which Davo has access to?
She needs the ability to account for $400,000 that is missing from her funds. Like the Empire will eventually look into her, realize that $400,000 is missing with no accountability for where that money should have gone. And Davo can provide a nice private ability to, shield that money from the Empire.
But I guess I'm just confused on the logistics of how the money situation works. I should just take it at face value as like, this is probably the only option Mon has.
I have no idea how auditing actually
because I didn't know if Luthen could just be like, I got 80 mil, here's 400K. That's nothing. Like if that would solve the problem, or if they need the actual big market purchase that he has to cover up whatever, or something. Because at first, whenever Takoma and Mon were talking, she was like, I need a loan. She said so I need a loan. Like she needs that money too. She needs the 400,000 to cover it. I think,
and she also needs a way to continue moving money after.
Ooh, okay, that's what it is.
The 400K can't get all of it done. She needs more access to her money.
You're right. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
And she needs to be able to move it freely without Imperial eyes prying, and he can provide the service that shields it from the Empire.
He's basically the Swiss bank.
Yes.
In
Wolf of Wall Street, yeah.
So, okay, fair. I guess I should just think, maybe that's how I'll think of him. Because it kind of lines up.
That's exactly it.
Everything just kind of lines up there, actually.
He's the guy who gets caught at the Benihana and fucking Wolf of Wall Street. Benihana? Benny fucking Hana? That's him. That's that guy. But over at his shop, Luthen is being informed by Clea that someone is seeking a meeting. She doesn't like the timing. She insists on going herself in case it's a trap, and Luthen's like, nah, I'll be going. It's okay. It's been a year. I'm surprised he's waited this long. And she's like, but what if it's a trap? And he's like, hey, if it's a trap, we already lost. We done for if it's a trap, might as well go. And that was a nice brief scene there in the shop. Fucking love Clea still. Still down for Clea. Need more Clea. But yeah.
I didn't notice this before, but after it's been pointed out, it's kind of hard to not notice. Whenever Clea and Luthen are talking to each other, Clea is the one giving the orders. Like, Luthen has to agree with Clea on most things. Luthen rarely gives a command, almost ever, to Clea. And I have a suspicion that's why at first, whenever they came to the conclusion that they had to kill Cassian because he saw Luthen's face, we kind of just accepted that it was like both of them going with that, like, yep, he saw my face. I know it's not what I want to do, but it's what we have to do. But like, Luthen gives no words, like nothing that Luthen says points to killing Cassian. It's only what Clea says, and like, I don't know. I feel like Luthen doesn't actually know that Cassian is being like, haunted? I don't know, or like, I don't know. I feel like Clea is the one that is kind of giving orders here and doing things, because when she went to go talk to Vel, she was like, oh yeah, I recruited that person all on my own, and I've been doing all this stuff just all on my, like, she was like talking like a big game. She's like, yeah, like I do all this shit on my own. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Whether they're, I don't know, maybe it's not a hierarchy situation where Clea is above Luthen, but maybe they're just kind of on the same, just kind of, like they've all taken this vow, like whatever this vow is, which is pretty dope. But yeah. I don't know, I feel like Clea is a sleeper right now, and like there's not enough attention being focused on her.
I know, I want more Clea, I don't know her deal. I mean, my prevailing theory is that she's Cassian's sister. Like, I'm almost certain she's Cassian's sister.
No. You think Luthen knows that?
No. I don't think Clea would know it. Like, I don't think she.
You think no one knows it?
I don't think either of them know they're each. I don't think anyone knows it. I think that maybe eventually, Andor Cassian takes this vow, which will be the first time we hear it. We won't hear the vow until Cassian takes it.
Oh, because the only way not to kill him is that he. Oh my fuck! Yes, you got it. You got it. You got it.
And then maybe him and Clea get to talk a little bit. Where are you from?
Where are you? Oh my! No way, dude. Oh, dude. But if they've taken the vow, then like Luthen would probably know about that then. Actually, it would be very interesting if Luthen. No. Oh no one could know, because no way, if they knew, would they be like, oh yeah, let's kill him. Like, he saw your face. Yeah. Like, if they, yeah, no way. So no one knows.
I don't think,
but it's possible.
Well, that's the thing, is that like, there's a chance Luthen knows and is keeping that from Clea. For the good of the rebellion.
Honestly, a thing that's been bugging me the whole time is why he sought out Cassian in the first place. Yes, he stole a high-profile thing, but like, really, he should have been after the high-profile thing. He just thought Cassian was a thief. He could have gotten that from anyone. He didn't know that he was the one to steal it himself. But he's like, I came here for you. That's kind of odd, you know? Like, that's I don't know.
There's something there. I think there's something there. I'm waiting. I think that might be why we're getting so little of Clea, is because it's just like little hints that's probably what we're heading for. That's just my prevailing theory, is that she is she's a sister.
Is it Clea with a C?
It's Clea with a K.
K-L-E-I-A?
K-L-E-Y-A.
E-Y-A. Clea. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Clea. Yeah, but yeah, I can't believe I've never said that on the podcast before. I've thought that for weeks.
Really?
Yeah, I've thought that for a while. Have I never said that?
I don't think so. Or maybe it just didn't hit as hard. I don't know.
No, yeah,
But
no, I don't know. I've thought
I feel
that
like that's the first time I've heard it. I don't know.
But yeah, I don't know when I started thinking it, but maybe it was just like I guess we haven't really theorized about who Clea is, and I've just never had the chance to say it. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I think Clea is Cassian's sister, but
that's good. That is good.
Like that. I would like that a lot.
And it is going to be found out during the vow thing. Like, I think you might have hit that. The vow thing, I think, is happening for sure. That's like in stone. The option, the cherry on top, is like, wait, you're from Canary? What the fuck? You know, and then they're like, huh? Oh, dude.
Well, and there's
I'm
also
gonna lose it.
in the fact that I don't think we ever hear him call his sister by her name in those flashbacks.
You're right.
We never learn his sister's name.
But he's searching for, doesn't he say, no, he calls her by name though, right?
Oh, did he?
Maybe? I think he just says, I'm looking for a calamari, what the fuck? Yeah, a canary. I think a canary woman is maybe what he said. Not a name.
All right. StarWars.com is telling me that it is Kerry. Kerri. But
hey,
man.
Clea, Kaylee?
Cassian's
name?
Kaylee?
Or what was it?
Kerri.
Carrie. Yeah, you're right. That Casa cast. You're right. It could be
a different name. There's no reason. But anywho, we get back to Narkina 5 here at Cassian's table, where Taga's hands are shaking and Jembach is gauging everyone's anxieties and excitements, and Zal's like, "Yep, I just want out, man. I don't care how it happens. I'm fucking in. You're gonna be one of the first to die." Yeah, Taga is very clearly nervous. I'm dead. I'm pretending to be dead. And Cassian pulls him in and is like, "Yo, don't die until you put up a fight." And that seems to calm him down for now. But Cassian makes his way to the bathroom, and on his way, Kino gives him a good old one way out. Someone else hands him a little pipe, and Cassian gets to work, with Kino telling the men behind him they're not going to close out the shift with his room 2 behind. Meanwhile, the imps upstairs are preparing the new arrival as Cassian chips away with his little file, and the anxieties rise. Cassian makes progress. An imp checks in, looks through the window to see if anything's amiss, and doesn't see anything. And after that, Zal gives a little signal with a whistle, and projectiles are handed about the room. Everyone's getting a little tool for them to chuck, and Cassian finally makes some progress. The pipe bursts, and he continues to file away, gaining a stronger stream. And it's then that he hears
just imagine how hard their hearts are beating. Like, if this is like, like if they're really in the situation and they're like, holy shit, that could not, I don't know of a more like adrenaline pumping situation that there could be than a prison break. Like you are running almost into sudden death just for the hope of getting out alive. And you don't even know, you could die so many steps along the way, and you're just like, fuck it, I have to go. Like, that has to be...
There's this quote from Saw Gerrera. It's a Saw Gerrera quote, where he says, "One fighter with a sharp stick and nothing left to lose can take the day." And them passing out these projectiles against a blaster bolt, like they are facing 2 guys with guns and they're just passing out fucking heavy circles. Like, yep, we're going to chuck this shit out. They got nothing left to lose. It's time to take the fucking day.
Damn.
And,
yeah.
I fucking loved it. But, the pipe bursts. Cassian finally makes some progress, and then he hears the alarm alerting them to a new arrival. And he gets an even steadier stream flowing, hits it a couple more times just for good measure. And he makes his way out wet and stands on program. with the pipe he used to get the water flowing in his shirt behind his head. And I was like, yes. And the prisoner.
Not gonna lie, I was lost here a little. I was like, wait a minute, isn't this just gonna make it worse? Like I was like, I didn't fully comprehend. Like I didn't click that it would short circuit everything and like,
I didn't
blow everything
either.
up.
I too thought the same thing. Like whenever a dude was standing in the water and like they kept showing people's like feet pattering in the water, I was like, oh no, they're gonna die quicker.
Yeah, and probably more painful. I don't know. Like, and I'm like, are
works.
they trying to lure the guards into the water? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, what is this? Like, what's the?
Yeah, no, I did not get it until it happened, and I was like, oh, okay, fuck yeah. But the prisoners exchange looks, the water flows, and Kino tells the men to hold their positions. The lift makes its way down, and the plan goes into action. Zal and Ham stage an argument and a fight, and it's a sufficient distraction so that Cassian can use the pipe to jam the lift. And once it's stopped, the homie we met last week, Burnock, tries to mount the lift and inadvertently tears down one of its sides after the imp shocks the new arrival, knocking all of them over. And the new arrival takes advantage of the opportunity and uses the shock prod on the imp himself. And I was like, fuck yes. You know, I don't even know this guy, but that was so fucking satisfying. Like, all hell broke loose, and this imp was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna shock this guy. You know, like, what the fuck? I like that he got his revenge. But the guards begin loosing shots, and the first one struck down is the new arrival. And it's at this point.
He went down so quick too. Like, or no, not yet. Never mind.
No, Burnock hasn't quite gone down.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, you're right.
It's not long because Kino yells like now, and everyone starts chucking their shit up at them. And it's not long now before Burnock goes down, and Cassian continues his climb as more and more prisoners continue to fall. And imp yells back,
climb. We get it so much, like climb, and we got it from Kino. Yeah. Like, it's always from the person that just doesn't quite make it, you know? God dang. From freaking Nemec, climb as he's dying. Kino, climb. Freaking B2SO, or K2SO, not B2. I'm thinking, climb. We're gonna get a climb, or climb. Oh, dude, can you imagine? We get a climb from B, dude. Oh.
B2 emo. But this shit really, really popping off now. And MPL's back to his cadre to spark the floors. And Kino's like, get on the tables! Everyone on the tables! An instruction that he himself does not follow, which I thought was of note. He let everyone else get on tables before he did. And when the floor is sparked, the water leak Cassian caused shorts out the floor circuits, and it invigorates the prisoners in a way we hadn't yet seen. New life within them. Kino yells again, attack! Prisoners get shot down, Zal among them, but then Cassian reaches the top. Taking out both the guards, they climb and take the day. On the floor below, water begins to drip down from above. And they're like, what the fuck going on up there? That can't be normal. And back upstairs, floor 5-2D begins arming themselves from the Imperial armament. Cassian and Kino move out and forming someone else to hold the level. Cassian being like, Kino, with me. And he's like, but someone's got to hold the level. He said, fucking let someone else do that. I need you. I loved that. And we watch as Taga, Ham, Jembach, and Melshi lead their own battalions to free different rooms. I love that, like, just the table was like, yeah, we're going to go our separate ways, lead a different group of men. We got this shit. Like, I really, really loved that.
And the whole time, Cassian is the leader. He's the one who's leading this prison break.
He is the point man. Yeah.
And it's not, to give Kino credit, he does come up with that speech on his own, but Cassian does get him there, but he still delivers a fucking smackdown speech. So, but every other time, Cassian's for real.
Cassian's
one,
leading
like
the way.
leading it.
He is. But and you'll love to see it. I mean, like without Cassian, Taga, Ham, Jimbok, and Melshi, they don't go leading their own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the dudes who are leading the prison break, and it's just his fucking table.
I think it's maybe about right here, or the first guy that enters like the new room, or whatever.
One way out. Come on and fight.
But it's, is it just his? Does he have an accent, or like did he? Okay, because I didn't know if it was like if they were trying to be like it was such a moment of adrenaline that he just didn't know how like because it kind of came out a little weird because the people in the room went like what the fuck
is he talking about?
The fuck? And I didn't know if it was just because like obviously if anyone just runs in a room and says that they're gonna be like obviously what the fuck? It's not the line delivery that made him say that, but
you know he does go on to lower the lift for them, and they're like, oh shit, yeah, bet. And Kino and Cassian continue their ascent of the levels, and Melshi finds himself in a shootout. And after he succeeds, he tells the room, "We're leaving. Join us." And he's like, "Fucking figure out how to get out of here. I'm not going to lower a lift for you guys. Climb." And
he opened the door for him, I guess.
Yeah, true.
I guess he said climb. Oh, he said climb too.
Yeah,
he said climb. Use whatever you can.
Yes, climb. But an announcement comes over the PA telling everyone that complete program protocol will commence in 40 seconds. Any deviation or failure to comply will result in unit-wide activation of the floors. And for that last part, we finally see the man behind the distorted PA voice as Cassian and Kino arrive to take over the command center. And it just being this fucking bitch. Did this dude look like mad familiar to you?
Yes.
What is
it?
I have
no idea. I need to know. This was another one that was bugging the crap out of me. And man, did they cast the most absolute narkiest looking dude ever, though. Like, you think it'd kind of be like insulting to be cast as like a role like this? I mean, like, if you're in Hollywood, you're gonna take it, you know. But like, man, it sucked just to play the narc, you know.
Oh yeah, I'd be a little pressed. This shit would.
What's his? I guess you probably wouldn't have a name because on IMDb there is the voice of God is credited in this episode. Martin Ware, the voice of God, is that him? Is he the voice of God in this?
No.
Who would be the voice of? What's the voice of God?
Yeah, I have no idea. What the fuck?
What? Yeah, it's like, yep, Andy Serkis, Kino Lloyd, Diego Luna, Cassian Andor, Martin Ware, the voice of God.
Yeah, I see that. That's like
he's in Morbius. He's in Solo.
Well, he's the casting department.
Oh, what? I guess his word is scripture. Whoever Martin Ware is, his word is the truth. He is the voice of God.
Yeah.
Wait, he's credited twice as the voice of God, actually, on IMDb for this episode for some reason. But I can't find this narc dude though. Sadly,
I can't either. What the fuck?
I know. Console guard. Console. Maybe. Oh man, it's
gonna kill me.
It's gonna bug the crap out of me. Intake warden. Is he the warden? Intake warden. Oh no, that's the dude at the beginning. That fuck.
Man, I have no idea, and it's really, really bugging me. But, nevertheless, they take the command center, and it's a moment of triumph. Kino makes the demand that he turn it off. When the guy plays dumb, Kino goes ahead and shoots his buddy. He's like, "All right, you want to act like you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about again?" He's like, "That could mean so many things." And the other guard in the room's like, after the shot, he's like, "Yeah, I'll turn it off." And when he goes to do so, Cassian's like, "No, don't just turn it off. Cut all power." And the guy's like, "I don't. It's like it's fucking hydro powered. You know how long that'll take to turn back on?" And he's like, "Yeah, I fucking do. Like, I don't want you to turn it back on.
I don't give a fuck."
Oh, can you believe it? He's like, he's like, I can't do it. It's him over there who can do it. And he's like, yeah, okay, I can do it. He complies. All power goes down, and the backup power kicks in, and everyone who was asleep in the facility takes notice as the lights flash, and Cassian puts these imps in the corner and yells at them, "On program!" And I was like,
Thank you for that moment.
Dude. And that was, if there was ever a nut moment in the show, that was it.
That is a nut moment. That is a nut moment. Oh man, it's like in Eternals. In Eternals, the smack. He's like, I think he even says like, "Oh, that felt good," or like something.
Harry Henry's throwing down Richard Madden, like Fasto's throwing down Icarus, like, "Oh, I've been wanting to do this for a long time."
That's what he said. That's what he said. Oh yeah,
like that shit hit. But nevertheless, he grants Kino the mic to speak to the people, and Kino stands at the mic, briefly unsure of what to say, and Cassian tells him it has to be him. It's what he's always done. Tell them what to do. And so I've got like a big ass fucking thing here, just moment by moment. Kino begins. My name is Kino Loy. I'm the day shift manager on level 5. I'm speaking to you from the command center on level 8. Prisoners everywhere get off program, out of their beds, listening. We are at this moment in control of the facility. Cassian goads him a little bit. Is that the best you've got? Kino continues. How long we hang on and how far we get, how many of us make it out, all of that is now up to us. We have deactivated every floor in the facility. All floors are cold, and the first to trust his word is the night shift manager on level 5, Zinska, who nervously takes the first step out of his bunk and onto the floor.
Brave man.
Oh, and I loved the detail that it was him. That, like, whenever it happened last episode, and Zinska's like, they fried all 100 men. That's what made Kino believe it. He trusted Zinska, and Zinska trusts him. He's like,
that's awesome.
If he says he turned off the floors, he turned off the floors. I'm going to take the step. He says, wherever you are right now, get up. Stop the work. Lifts begin to descend, and those working stop. They head for the door. Get out of your cells. Take charge and start climbing. We see Melshi and his crew ascend the stairs. They don't have enough guards, and they know it. If we wait until they figure that out, it'll be too late. We see guards panicked, afraid. Kino shudders, tears in his eyes, and continues. We will never have a better chance than this. And it's him like looking straight at the camera in that moment. It's like, oh my God. Then he turns his gaze to Cassian and quotes his comrade. And I would rather die trying to take them down than giving them what they want.
Ugly cry. Instantaneous. Ugly cry.
Sobbing. Bro, I'm sitting up in my bed. I'm like clutching my arms. I'm like, God, this is fucking awesome. And like, I'm so happy. I'm so fucking happy at this moment. And then he turns to the imps, death glaring them, fired up. He says, we know they fried 100 men on level 2. We know that they are making up our sentences as we go along. Doors open at prisoners' bunks. They make their way through those doors. They're lining up. They're walking out. Kino continues. We know that no one outside here knows what's happening. And now we know that when they say we are being released, we are being transferred to some other prison to go and die. And that ends today. A fucking fire in his eyes. And haste in his voice. He looks to the camera, tears in his eyes. He goes, there is one way out. Right now, the building is ours. You need to run, climb, kill. And Cassian, he hears something outside, runs outside with his gun drawn, only to find Melshi and his crew. Fuck yeah. And Kino continues. You need to help each other. You see someone who's confused, someone who is lost, you get them moving, and keep them moving until we put this place behind us. We see some prisoners all over the facility climbing to get out of their rooms, arming themselves. He says, there are 5,000 of us. If we can fight half as hard as we've been working, we will be home in no time. He begins chanting, one way out, one way out, one way out. And the facility joins in. Thunderous chants heard throughout the floors everywhere. And the fact that through this entire speech, homie knows he cannot swim. Homie knows this is it for him, bro. He knows the whole fucking time that he's not making it out of this.
Makes so much more sense. Like, now that, like, you look back and, like, it was emotional. Like, he's obviously going to be emotional because, you know, this is it's a fucking prison break. Holy fuck, your whole life and, like, everything. Wow. But, like, to know you're doing this and you're not making it. Like,
well, and it's just, like, I also almost think there's part of him that just kind of forgot that that's the case.
You think?
He's lived in this prison for so fucking long. Maybe he truly does get to the door and goes, oh yeah, we're in the middle of the fucking ocean.
You're right. He is running with them, screaming, like, one way out, and he's kind of, like, has, like, the belief in his eyes. Like, yeah, like, you know, whether that's written to be like that or not, like, that's, oh, man. Because he kind of, well, it's kind of instant. He looks at Cassian, and he's already, like, it's not like a realization he has. It's because he kind of smiles, you know? Like,
yeah, he's kind of like,
he's already been at peace with it. You know, he smiled. So I don't think he came to peace with it right then and there. I think he knew. Like, he knew the whole time. Because, I mean, I wow. It's the last breath of fresh air you'll ever get, you know? Like, it's probably very, like, I don't know, I'd say, like, the image of freedom that you think in your mind is, like, the last thing I saw was the ocean. So, I mean, it's probably, I don't know.
I mean, regardless, they make their break for it. Some being trampled as they trip and fall on their way out. Guards hiding from the prisoners. No interest in interfering. Like, literally someone slams on their door and a guard goes, quiet. Like, don't let them know we're in here.
They would get us. Rocked.
They would fucking kill us. And
they were pissing their pants in there.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. The way they're all squatted and everything, like, oh, these pussies. And they all finally make it to the edge. And some immediately begin jumping in the water. Cassian yells to Melshi, whatever happens now, we made it. And he looks back to Kino, who has come to a startling realization. Cassian's like, what's up? He's like, I can't swim. And Cassian is given no choice in trying to stay with Kino as he is shoved off the edge to join his brethren in the water. And Kino watches on, envious of the freedom, accepting that this is the end of the line. And we get a beautiful view of the facility from above that is so clearly influenced by the Imperial logo. Like, oh my god. When they showed that, like, the way my jaw just hit the fucking...
I didn't think it, like, it didn't hit me. I'm like, like, 7, everything, you know, like, they're always obsessed with 7 and everything. And then I look at the Empire, like, the logo, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah, it's a hexagon. You know, like, 7 sides. Okay, fuck, okay, that's pretty sick. And then, that's the
thing. The Imperial logo...
7
for...
corners,
7 would be
whatever.
a septagon. But...
yeah.
It is not, the Imperial logo is not quite a septagon. It is a hexagon. You got it right. It does have 6 cogs. It has 6 sides. It was really
the
close.
7 vertices, the 7 points. Yeah. Wow.
But, and I wanted to point out a little parallel here, potentially, in another character who knew it was the end of the line for them. Saw Gerrera. And another one, I'll get to it. But just the looking out into the vast landscape. There is no horizon for Saw. It's nothing but horizon.
The horizon is coming to him.
Yeah.
Actually, like that's dude.
And
no.
It's the opposite for Kino. It's endless horizon, but he won't be able to make it out. And then the other one is that Cassian dies at the beach, looking out over a body of water.
And Luke.
Yeah.
If you want to go there.
Yeah.
Where his actual body was, he saw two things. Kind of. Or way more than two things. If he can just he saw everything, maybe.
He saw all.
Fuck.
But yeah, this is the end of Kino.
Yes, can we because no way they ended there, right? Like, do they kill him off screen? There's no way. Like,
I think there's a possibility.
Do you think that's it? Like, there's no more Andy Serkis.
Return. It's a confirmation for sure that he died here. Like, it's not like that's the thing, is the only thing that leaves it open to maybe he survived is if they come back. If they don't come back to him, he's dead. He died. The guards are still in there. He spoke over the intercom. They heard him. He's done, man. Like, this guy's dead.
I guess the only other people that would stay with Kino would be other people who can't swim. So there is the possibility that he's not the only one left. Out of 5,000 people?
I think poetically,
yeah, it should be.
He will be the lone person there.
Fair. Should be. I don't know. I see the scene of him sitting at the edge, just sitting there, legs dangling over, just looking at everyone escaping, swimming away, running, and him just having the biggest smile on his face. And then the guards walk up behind him, having their taser sticks in hand, and they're like, Kino, you're in whatever Empire line they're going to say. And then Kino's going to be like, well, I'd rather die. He's just gonna say the line and piece off the edge. I can see it so clearly, and I can see how it's gonna tear me to shreds whenever it happens on screen. I want it to happen, but I don't want it to happen at the same time.
Yeah, if anything, I could see it going a little bit differently, where he doesn't even look back at them, and they just open fire on him, and his body falls into the water, and he's like,
no, he has to be the one to do it.
Well, I mean, accepting his fate at this point.
Okay, fair. I guess true. That would be okay. I would be okay with that. I would like it, however, even more if he just went berserk and just took out as many of them with him.
That'd be awesome. That would be fucking killer.
Just grabbed two of them and just took them with him. Like,
that would be epic. I would love that.
That'd honestly be even better. Like,
I hope that's what he does. Like, two of them try to like come up behind him and like grab him, and he just goes off the edge.
Insane that they didn't kill those two people in the control room. Like, I thought they were gonna die.
I thought for sure. No, and like I was also like alarmed. Like, what if they just try to turn the power?
I guess it would take months.
Yeah,
they said they could have lied about that. He could have just been like, "Ooh, we're gonna take months, but we can just flip a switch and blaze you up." I don't know, but yeah, that was a I guess a calculated risk. I guess he thought he was going to be in the ocean in the next couple minutes, but
yeah, like they were like, "Oh, we're home free now," so like maybe that was kind of it. But yeah, I don't know. Almost feels like I have a tough time. None of them tried to contact anybody. I was worried when they were like, "Yep, we're going to swim." I was like, "Y'all are literally sitting ducks out there." But they were fine, so I'm chilling. Like, no big deal to me.
Do those prisons have like ships and stuff like in them? You think like ready to go?
Probably not.
Because no way they think anyone's going to escape.
Yeah, no. They probably don't have ships.
So even if they could contact,
probably like those transports.
Yeah, maybe it's like even if they could contact another one of the prisons, I get they'd have to contact like
Someone
different
off planet.
planet.
Yeah.
Or like maybe further on shore. I don't know. Whatever else is on that planet.
I think
Is it
you're
an
right.
ocean planet? I don't know.
No, it's not.
No, because they get on land. Yeah.
Yeah. But regardless, back on Coruscant in the underworld, Lonnie makes his way through a crowd into the depths of the underworld where he finds himself a lift. And within the lift, he finds a comm hidden and begins speaking to Luthen. Luthen figures out not a trap and then tells him, "Congrats on being a father." And I was like, "Ooh, yeah, this is a threat." Lonnie's like, "Is that supposed to scare me?" And he's like, "Nah, it's been a year. You became a dad. What do you want me to say? Nothing?" And Lonnie's like, "Yo, that's not fair. You got to think about what it must feel like from my side." And Luthen's like, "I think about you constantly." And then they get to the meat of the matter. Lonnie informs him of Deidre Miro's activities and how she's on to someone called Axis. And Luthen's like, that's great. Good. That has nothing to do with me. So we're chilling. He's like, "You did not do Aldhani?" "Nope, wasn't me. Whoever did it got lucky. We don't build rebellions on luck." He's not going to tell someone plugged into the ISB what he's doing completely. But Lonnie then informs him that she's just captured a rebel pilot running supplies for Anto Krieger. And he tells him what they did to the pilot and that they know about the planned raid on Spellhouse. They'll be there waiting. And this is of little concern to Luthen. While the moral and just thing is to warn them and to not go on the raid, it would alert the ISB that someone is informing the rebels on such things, thus giving away Lonnie's position. Lonnie insists that Luthen warn them, but he won't. He's worth every bit the lives of 50 men in the eyes of Luthen. Whenever he's like, "You got to warn them," he's like, "It's 50 men. Like, 50 dudes? I don't give a fuck."
It's tough here. It's like he's like
I get
what do you do, man?
That's the thing.
It's like Mon having to marry off her daughter. It's like
well, that's why Luthen's like whole monologue later is so fucking important, because that's him justifying what he's saying. He's like, "I've given up all inner peace. Any shot at happiness in my mind is gone. It won't be there. I've done too much fucked up shit." I'll
about the score of being good. Okay. I think like they're trying to portray him as like the devil here. Like they're in like the depths. Like, I mean, they're like 300 floors down in Coruscant. He's dressed in dark clothing. I'm the one who has to he's like literally like
I am the one who knocks.
Yeah, like, I mean, I feel like the closest character to him is Palpatine. Like, I don't know of a closer comparison. Like, take the Force away from Palpatine and just take all of his calculatedness and evilness and making that work for him, and like, kind of what Luthen is. Like, it's just for every, like, there needs to be the counter for everything. It's the yin and the yang. Like some would think that Luke Skywalker was the yin to Palpatine's yang, but I don't know. Maybe it's Luthen, dude.
No, yeah. I mean, he's a calculated motherfucker, He certainly is. But, Luthen says to him, "I'm doing this for you as much as anything." And then the lift stops opening to reveal Luthen here. And he again insists Lonnie tell him why they're really here. And Lonnie opens up saying he can't do this anymore. He's a father now. He had no idea how it would feel. And Luthen isn't susceptible to this play. You made a vow. You took a vow, he says. And Lonnie tries once more. "I've honored my vow. I've worked my way up for 6 years alone. I gave you all this." The way Luthen was like, "Oh, so you thought you'd just give me a little gift basket on your way out? Is that it?" And Luthen asks what he planned to tell the ISB if he's getting out. Lonnie's like, "Oh, I'll tell them it's my health." And Luthen's like, you know that's not how that works. It's impossible." And Luthen says, "We can't let you go. We've been grooming you for too long, and yes, you've been alone, but your career has prospered. He continues, you love your daughter, and Krieger's men will be dying to make sure she has a father. You're trapped, Lonnie. No pleasure in saying it, but you know it. And Lonnie asks Luthen, Lonnie asks, what does my sacrifice mean anything to you? Like, do you think about that at all? He says, I told you, I think of you constantly, and I do. Your service to the rebellion has been epic. A double life, every day a performance, the stress of that? We need heroes, Lonnie, and here you are.
Kind of mocking him. Or not kinda, he's mocking him. He's saying, I'm doing exactly what you're doing times 5 billion, dude. Chill the fuck out and grow some balls and be my spy boy. Is like basically what he's saying in simple terms. Which is kind of nuts. But he says it way more eloquently.
Oh yeah. And he does it so vaguely enough that it's like he could be complimenting him, And he does call him a hero.
Yeah, he takes it as a compliment, but Luthen is not he's not saying it as a compliment. Like he's talking his own game up. Like that's what he's doing. He's like this is I don't know. It felt very condescending.
Well, and Lonnie doesn't take it completely as a compliment. He's like, and what do you sacrifice?
That's true. Yeah.
And that's what sparks the monologue. Luthen lets him know, I don't have a life. I don't have peace. I don't have love. I don't have friends. I've given up on inner peace. My mind is a sunless space. I share my dreams with ghosts. I wake up every day thinking of an equation I wrote 15 years ago from which there is only one conclusion. I am damned for what I do. There is no escape from the life that he's chose. He asks Lonnie, what is my sacrifice? I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them. I burn my decency for someone else's future. I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I will never see. And the ego that started this fight will never have a mirror or an audience or the light of gratitude. So what do I sacrifice? Everything. And the way Stellan Skarsgård.
Everything? Whoa. This whole monologue was nuts.
Well, and you wanna talk about Palpatine comparisons. As soon as I heard everything, I thought to The Rise of Skywalker whenever Kylo Ren's like, and what can you give me? And he goes, everything.
It's the polar opposite. Everything. Everything! It's exactly the yin to dude. He's Palpatine. It's why I love him so much. I already put him down for my favorite character because it is Cassian, probably because of his character development here is just fucking.
It's nuts.
He's the hero, and he's realizing it, and he's like, "Oh, my words do mean something. Like I can actually do something here." It's Cassian, but Luthen is becoming like one of my favorite characters in Star Wars in general right now.
I love this guy.
So yeah, no, I think I'm gonna give him the character nod because I think you'll give Cassian the nod. I think
I am giving Cassian my nod. I've already filled mine out. I filled it out as soon as I watched it. But after this monologue, he tells Lonnie, "You'll be staying with me. I need all the heroes I can get." And he shuts the lift on him and sends him upward. And I was like, "Oh shit, I fucking love this guy." But I mean,
why doesn't he can go warn Krieger's men?
Yeah, true.
Can't he? Like, do you think that that's what he does, or do you think he just? I mean, he did just get fucking owned, and he might just be like, "Damn, he's fucking right." Like, all right, like yeah, these 50 men are dying for my daughter, so okay, shit. I don't know.
Well, I go to the ISB and go, "I've been spying for you."
Yeah, they will instantly be like, okay, tell us. They will sick Dr. Evil on you, get all the truth they know, and then kill you.
Exactly.
Goodbye. Nah, man, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the planetscape though that shows afterwards that they're like running out to.
Yeah,
like
weird.
Episode is. What are they gonna do?
Oh, they find their way off. We know that.
It's desolate. Like, I mean, no life. I guess people run into Tatooine and find a way out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they'll figure it out. I mean, we know they figure it out.
They do. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, it's just a
They
matter
do.
of how. But yeah, man, let's go over some favorites because this was an episode full of it. Let's start with favorite character. You're going with Luthen?
Yeah, I have. I mean, for the episode, and I guess character is really just focused on not really the performance, but I kind of bake it in too sometimes with character. But just strictly character arc, character development. I guess Cassian still probably wins that. But
it doesn't matter. This one's favorites. It doesn't matter what was critically
the love for Luthen is just growing. I struggle, like, Palpatine is like my number like 2 or 3 most of the time, like just kind of favorite character. Yeah, top 5. I don't know. Sometimes he goes down, he dips, he comes up, but like Luthen is like kind of the good Palpatine, which is like way cooler.
Yeah.
And, I know he's gonna die sometime because he's definitely not the secret leader of the rebellion that we've never heard of the whole time. But if he is, that's even cooler. Cooler. I just need to know how he goes out.
Menace.
Wait a minute, dude. If it really is the yin to the yang, then if I should really believe in that. If I'm thinking that he is Palpatine, then shit, he might be the fucking leader behind the scenes. That could be useful.
Who knows?
I mean, if they don't figure him out, or the they fake his fucking death, dude. There's so many different ways they can go. It's not. He's dying. He's gonna die. He's going to die. Yeah. He's not the secret leader of the rebellion. I gotta get that out of my head.
It would be fun to keep him around, but he's dead. He will die a revolutionary because that's what he is. You know, like he will die for the cause. I have no doubts about it.
Who's his Jedi lover? Yaddle. Imagine.
Well, she wasn't killed in Order 66, as we learn in Tales of the
Does that spark his fuel even more? That a Jedi killed his wife? Not wife. I guess Yaddle was on the council. She wasn't fucking around, you think? Well, if she's fucking around, she's fucking around with Yoda. So
yeah, there's no doubt about that. That's straight up.
Is there? You think if there is some Jedi connection, it's like a lover, do you think like it is a known Jedi, or you think it's just like he loved one of the Jedi?
I think it would be an unknown Jedi that we are unfamiliar with. That they can do whatever they want with that story if they wanted to do it.
Guess who's like at that age that we like know of?
And
imagine it's
it's
Qui-Gon.
Oh, that'd be. Now, I'm going, whoever it is had to have died in Order 66. Like, I have no doubts about it. Like, that's his own personal rebellion starts the moment the Empire kills his Jedi lover.
Fair. Yeah. Ooh, there's more going on with Luthen, man. That Kyber crystal is not just that's not just something he stumbled upon. No. I don't think his cane resembles a lightsaber so closely. There's not some connection. At first I was really in the camp that he was a Jedi and like he's taken the vow. His vow was that he's never going to use the Force again so that they can't track him down, blah, blah, blah. And that's what the vow is. But no, I like that he's just connected to a Jedi, and that, because I don't think a Jedi gives that monologue.
No,
they would not do that. They'd be like, oh shit, we're going to save those 50 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless he's a gray Jedi and they're actually getting into that. I don't know. That'd be nuts, but I don't think so.
Well, the reason I think there's more credence to him being in love with the Jedi is because there was this idea for Rogue One that Tony Gilroy had originally, where Galen Erso was married to Jyn Erso's mom, who was originally conceptualized to be a Jedi who survived Order 66. Now, the way you can tweak that idea and apply it to a different character is just a Jedi who didn't survive Order 66, and now they're a massive player in the rebellion. So like Tony Gilroy's played with that idea before. So I think there's credence to the idea that he might play with it again and actually apply it in a way that's even better. I I think that'd be cool. Lyra Urso, I think is her name.
Man. Yeah, but as far as the other favorites for the episode, it's kind of hard to not pick what is just what it is.
Yeah, my favorite character, I'm gonna go Cassian Andor. He fucked this week, but performance, Andy Serkis as Kino Loy, scene, Kino's speech, and line, I'd rather die trying to take them down than giving them what they want. Like it's those three, and I don't think there's many other choices. I think Diego Luna again did fucking fantastic. Stellan Skarsgård in that monologue fucked so hard.
Genevieve O'Reilly, dude, underrated scene. She fucked whenever that hit her, the betrothal, and she was like, "Get the fuck out!"
Yeah,
Tay will see you out. Yeah, Tay will see you out.
Yeah, Tay was like,
hard.
I guess I'm a see you out.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. No, this was a perfect episode of television here. That's it's insane.
That's why we don't even need to spend time on the rating. Yeah. It's 10s across the board.
It's 10s. There's no question about it. And there's no hesitation, and that's what a 10 is. When it's a 10. And instantly, when I was done with this episode, I'm like, fuck, I need to watch that again, for one. And
I watched it twice back to back.
Yeah. And the awesome thing is that if you watch episode 9 right behind it, it literally plays instantly. Olaf dies, boom, you're right there. Literally right there. It's instantaneous. And I wonder if the episode before was actually, oh dude. No, this is a perfect 3-episode movie. Dude, oh my god. The prison movie. What's it called? What are we calling this arc?
Die Trying.
Damn. Yeah. The Die Trying arc, better than the I arc.
It would probably be One Way Out. It probably would be the name of the episode, the name of this episode. It probably would just be One Way Out.
Yeah. Fair. The
way that the other
one
would
episode
be
is the name of the arc, because the I. Yeah, I called it the I just without even thinking about it. Okay, fair.
Yeah, it would be that one would be the I.
Okay. I like it, man. And that's episode 10. We got the penultimate and the ultimate.
Yes, we do have the penultimate and the ultimate left. But shit, man, I think that concludes our coverage of Andor episode 10. One Way Out. What a fucking good episode this was, man. I'm just left in awe of how fucking fantastic the show is, man.
Any last minute predictions you want to get in there? I don't know. You have any hidden Clea as Cassian's sister, other thing in your bag? Because that's kind of wow.
No, yeah, my only ones are that Clea's Cassian's sister. The first time we'll hear the vow is when Cassian takes it. And Luthen was in love with the Jedi. Or maybe he had a brother or sister who was a Jedi. Regardless, he has a connection to a Jedi.
Yeah, Luthen connected to a Jedi. Luthen was connected to a Jedi.
Yeah, he's
died in Order 66.
He's got ties. Probably. Yeah.
So
yeah, he's got ties.
You want to make a random guess? It'd be sick if it's Qui-Gon. Imagine. No, it has to be Order 66. You're right.
It has to be Order 66.
Can't be Qui-Gon. But
Ki-Adi-Mundi, tall head, who goes down in a fucking blaze.
Yes. Oh, dude, I'd love it. I'd be behind it.
Maybe it's Plo Koon. I don't know.
Dang, that's a sad one. Obi-Wan. Never know. Then he left him. Maybe Obi-Wan telling him no is the cruel calculation he made. Obi-Wan was having a thing in Order 66. Obi-Wan was like, I can't do it anymore, man. I'm sorry, after this. Gotta go. Who knows?
Who knows? But yeah, I'm so floored by how good the series is. But with that, I think we conclude this episode of the Penny Bloom Podcast. It was I, Colton Robertson, and I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. If you would, head to patreon.com/CoroBloom. That's COROBLOOM, where you'll find over 50 hours of exclusive content, including comic book pull lists weekly, book reviews quite often, and movie reviews less often, but often they're over there. So head over to patreon.com/CoroBloom. Pay $3 a month to support your favorite small podcast. It would be greatly appreciated, especially since Twitter is dying, and that was the only way I planned on promoting my podcast.
It's a rough time right now.
It is a rough time. It is a rough time. But with that, while it's still here, go ahead and follow on Twitter at PennyBloomPod. Follow on Instagram at PennyBloomPodcast. Remember to leave a 5-star rate and review wherever you're listening and share with friends. If you were fucking with me and Joe, come back tomorrow for our continuation of the 52-year journey through film, and next week and every Friday after that for the rest of the year. Tomorrow is The Big Short from 2015, 2016. We're covering La La Land next Friday, and the Friday after that, 2017's Get Out. So we got a big 3 weeks ahead of us. Every Monday, we're doing Winter is Blooming, a Game of Thrones rewatch podcast, a very, very joyous occasion that we're doing that. Tavares is back in the mix. Tavares Pennington back with us. Very excited about that. And just stick with us. Remember, peace, love, and bloom. And one way out.